Hello, I'm Adrian Crawford. Welcome to Williams Crawford, Passion for Porsche. And today I thought I'd show you a little bit about what's underneath. Now, just because we can, and we've got all ranges of all ranges of Porsche here, air-cooled Porsche, I thought I'd start with one of the oldest. So this is a 356 engine. Look, here's my hand. You can see how tiny this little thing is. A couple people could easily lift it, possibly one strong person. Now here we are under a 1954 356 with a little hole for the engine. It simply bolts in 4 places. The little hole there is where the gear shaft and some other auxiliaries go through. Really, really simple. Not so far removed from the philosophy of the original Volkswagen Beetle, of course. Next stop, 911. So 911, next generation. This will be, I think, a G-Series car, impact bumper. Bare body's just come in for some restoration. The holes there, that's for the rear engine mounts. Again, the auxiliaries and the gear shift going through the floor in the middle. Significantly larger machine. And just like Blue Peter, here's one that we prepared earlier. Well, we haven't actually prepared it. It's come in for some maintenance work. Same model. You can see the big 6-cylinder engine, and what's nice in this one, on this side you can see the heat exchangers, so that's the exhaust manifold and heat exchangers, the crankcase going down through, and here the heat exchangers have been removed for some reason. Usually when you do that, these studs snap and it's a massive job. We're well used to it, so perhaps we're fitting new heat exchangers or doing some oil leakage or something like that. So this is just a driving quality car, and the gentleman is wanting it just maintained properly. But this is typical of a used 911, and why not? That's what they're built for. So that's the underside of another G-Series. And next I'm going to show you one that is quite different. Now this is another G-Series, but this is Richard's competition car. So we can, again, have a look underneath. It's all very well looking at the shiny bits on top, but for a competition car and for your car, it's what's hidden that's really vitally important, isn't it? And here you can see a different arrangement. It's the same style of engine as the other one that we've just looked at. This is a 3.2 engine, but here you can see the exhaust manifolds. Now on the other one, those boxes, the heat exchangers, cover this, and then cold air goes in one side of the heat exchanger, gets warmed up by the manifolds inside, and pops out into the cabin. Or at least that's what it's supposed to do. Often they're not working properly. But this type of manifold, a long branch manifold with long pipes, look, all equal lengths, that's why they're sort of all twisted and so on. Having equal lengths, you can imagine, if you're musical, makes a difference to the music, but it also makes a difference to the performance. So that's underneath a competition car that Richard uses. Obviously much cleaner in its way because it's not out on the road. And then this one, of course, has the big bash guard under there, and will have one fitted on the other side. Just as a point of interest, have a look at the tyres. You can see the roughness where the rubber's begun to really work and move across the tyre with heat. And then you can see that this has got coil-over shock absorbers, so ordinarily they're on torsion bars, but this has got the coils over the dampers, which is something that was allowed for Group 4. The flexible metal brake pipes and the rose jointed drop links for the anti-roll bar. So adjustable and rose jointed, no rubber there, so super control. Next, I'm going to show you another car from a very similar era, because this is a 70s and we're going to move forward a little bit to slightly new thinking. So what we got here is a 944 Turbo. Interesting car, gents had it from new, wants to put it back on the road and give it a bit of a major birthday. Now, completely different arrangement. We got the engine up this end. You've got a big torque tube, like a drive shaft, that runs through the middle, and then that connects to the transaxle, transmission and axle in the back. And this is being reinstalled. This isn't going to be a sort of Concours or show car, so we haven't spent extra money on preparing the aesthetics on the underside, but we have made it strong, secure, and got rid of the corrosion and given it a new lease of life. So the underside of a 944, 968, 928 and 924, a very different proposition. So this would be quite exciting to see it back on the road after, this would be about an 86 car, so 86, 96, 06, 20, 30, nearly 40 years. So these Porsche can have a long life. Let me show you some others. Now, having looked at the 356, the early Porsche, the G series with the 6-cylinder engines. So the G series is very much, well, 993, 964 will all be largely the same. And then the 944 with the engine in the front, the gearbox and axle in the back, perfect weight distribution. We're going to look at Boxster and Cayman. So here, completely different arrangement. In a way where the engines are supposed to be, so some people say, with the engines slap bang midship. So you can see that's the base of the engine. It's slightly forward of the rear axle. Gives it beautiful weight distribution, race car handling, transmissions in the back. Now, of course, we're onto water-cooled cars. So you've got quite a lot of additional stuff that has to go through to the front of the car. Still, you've got the exhaust manifolds on the side and this flat engine arrangement with 3 cylinders one side and 3 the other. Much more complicated suspension, a flat floor. It's a really nice clean car. I think we're going to be selling this soon. And then either 2 or 3 radiators out front, water, oil, and then condensers for the air con. So a completely different arrangement. The Boxster and Caymans, 986, 987, 981s and 718s, all have this mid-engine configuration. Different feel from behind the steering wheel, the way that it turns and the way it actually feels through the seat of your pants. Most of the maintenance being done from underneath on these cars. So, comparing it to all the others, radiators, condensers, oil coolers, all the cooling stuff up in the front. And now a perfectly flat floor, which is something that racing cars were always keen to have. And then in the back, we've got this really sophisticated engine. Now, a couple of things that you might be interested in. The sump is some sort of composite, or looks like a plastic honeycomb, presumably saving weight and maybe cost. And then we've got the turbochargers either side of the engine here. A lot more complexity. And it's just fascinating to see the development between the original cars, so at 356, and things like this. Now, even though this isn't your GT3, look at the lovely little scoops to direct air into the disc, and then they expel through the outer side of the disc and then out through the wheel. And the engineering on these cars is just something special. So it's, but the size of the engine now and the weight of the engine, no longer would one strong man be able to pop this in the bottom himself. This is a completely different level of job. Well, that's the end of the line on this little video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And next week, I think we'll either be talking about modified Porsche, or we might be talking about the track. So you have to wait and see for that. For now, I'm Adrian Crawford, Walkabout Wednesday, from Williams Crawford Passion for Porsche. Thanks for watching.